Good morning. So last Sunday, Easter Sunday, we explored the themes that we found in common between the wide variation of versions within the Gospels themselves of the Easter story. And we looked at the metaphorical aspects that can really enhance our spiritual journey. And because I had, just a limited time, I sort of touched briefly on, several of these common themes. And I promised that I would spend time diving deeply into each one of them in April. So here we go. And so the first one that I want to really dive deeply into, this first theme, that is represented by the fact that it was the women who saw Jesus first. That Jesus appeared to the women. Oh, that got an applause. They saw him. They knew what it was. They understood. All of the male disciples did not even recognize Jesus even when he was right in front of their faces. Just didn't understand what was happening. And now we talked about that this was not necessarily a gender thing, that it's really talking about the feminine and masculine aspect, right? That which we have. All of us have both aspects, the feminine, and we want it to be in balance, right? We want balance. We've been so out of balance in the Western culture for so long that it really takes some effort to bring us back into balance. So that feminine aspect, again, is the receptive, yielding quality, that ability that can really sense the subtler energies, right? And the masculine aspect being that analytical mind, which, we need to have both of those things, right? But an analytical mind is less likely to see a transcendent experience even when it's right in front of them. So again, we all have this ability to be receptive and intuitive and to really sense that deeper spiritual, subtle energy, but it must be developed in order for us to perceive a transcendent experience. We must develop it. Well, now, some would say, psychedelics will take you there. And I have to say, ayahuasca has been very popular. I mean, I've just always constantly amazed people I never even thought would be doing that are doing it. And I don't have any opinion about that. I don't right or wrong or anything. It's just that, it's a tool. It's sort of a quick step. And the thing is, it can open up to a transcendent experience, right? And a sudden spiritual realization. It can open the door to that, but it can also open the door to experiences you'd rather not have. And in full disclosure, when I was a teenager in early 20s, I experimented as well. And I had one experience that really opened the door to this profound experience of oneness, and then subsequent experiences that were not so lovely, that were in fact kind of frightening. So you never know, right? Now, there are tried and true methods that spiritual masters and mystics have, throughout time, have practiced and developed using practices. Now, there's a school of thought that says that Jesus in his formative years, did training in these kind of esoteric or mystery schools in Egypt or India, depending upon what book that you're reading. I don't know. Sounds highly possible to me, So it's kind of an idea of practice, right? Practice and training. Now, some of you might be saying, why do I need a transcendent experience? How is that going to help me in my life? Really? I know some of you are thinking that. Right? Well, the ability to perceive the spiritual realm, the spiritual nature of things behind this solid, physical, three-dimensional world of form and experience is essential for spiritual growth. And it's what our soul is calling us to. You know, our soul is calling us to wake up from this dream of separation, this dream where we think that the three-dimensional world is all that there is. This world that is ruled by fear and separation thinking and constant acquisition and a consciousness of lack and limitation and intolerance and injustice and hostility. Right? It's time we wake up. It's time to wake up and realize, yeah, that's part of our human experience in this three-dimensional world of effect, but there's so much more. There's so much more. There is this eternal realm of boundless love that is really our true home. You know? That's our true home. And being able to see the crack in the machinery, you know, the crack in the universe, being able to perceive a little bit of light rushing in is really the first step. So the poet William Blake, I love this that he wrote, "If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite. For man has closed himself up till he sees all things through a narrow chink of his cavern." So, time to breathe. Emerge from the cavern. And the first step in that journey is to really realize that we are both immanent and transcendent beings. That immanent being the physical experience in this three-dimensional realm. So our body, our thoughts, our feelings, our body of affairs. That's part of who we are. That's the immanent part of us. And that transcendent being the eternal, infinite, spiritual self that is a direct expression of that divine one. So knowing that we're both of that. That's what we're going for. And Reverend Micheal Beckwith, that many of you know I studied with for many years at Agape when I was in LA. And he still speaks to me. I still, still listen to him and study him. So he tells us that when we transcend this idea that we are only human and really begin to embody that spiritual self of us, that we reflect the image and likeness of spirit in which we are made. When we consciously make use of this powerful faculty, we become fully franchised co-creators of our individual and collective experience. Fully franchised co-creators of our individual and collective experience. That's a reason right there to pursue this. And as I was sharing on last Sunday, we are called to bring this higher dimensional, transcendent love and healing light into our here and now experience, into our lives, to live more expansively and to share this healing light with others and with the world. And as far as I'm concerned, the need is urgent. The world needs more people who are awake and can bring this healing light and this love into our current intense challenges that are facing us. more and more of us that wake up and learn to channel this higher dimensional love into this experience. That's what we're going for, yes? That's what will shift the tide. So how do we do that? How do we do it? How do we develop this ability to be present to that experience of transcendence, to open the door, to get into that receptive, ability to sense that transcendence? Well, we can look at the mystics that have gone before, who have paved the way. And one in particular that I like to share today is Father Bede Griffiths' journey. And he was an English Benedictine monk who went to India to establish a monastery. But he got drawn into Eastern thought, into the ancient Vedic wisdom. He was drawn into that and really kind of incorporated that into his practice. And he really was one to bridge the gap between that Christian mysticism and Eastern mysticism. He bridged that gap. And he dedicated his life to opening the door to the transcendent and to embodying that awareness of who he truly was, that awareness of oneness. So I invite you now to sit back, get into this receptive mode. Well, I'm going to read a passage of his experience that he wrote. And you can either close your eyes with this, or you can gaze out the window. This is, we're connecting with nature here. These beautiful buds on these trees that are just beginning to come back to life. So either way, eyes closed or gazing out the window, just take a nice deep breath together. I look at the flowers which are growing in the garden outside my window, gold and orange marigolds and crimson Christmas roses. They come up out of the darkness of the earth, which is itself the shadow of the divine darkness, the abyss of being from which everything comes. They come out of this darkness into the light of the Word, radiant in its brightness, reflecting its glory. The impulse which quickens them in the earth and makes them thrust into the light is the movement of spirit, the divine Shakti, immanent in the earth. They come up into my consciousness as the light touches the nerves of my eye and an image is formed in my mind. It is the same light of the Word which shines in them and in my consciousness. And the same Spirit which stirs them in them stirs in me, awakening feelings of joy and delight in their beauty. They are in me, and I am in them, and both of us are in the Word and in the Spirit. This is the theophany. The Father speaks the word, and these flowers spring into being. He speaks again, and my consciousness awakens to the delight in their beauty. He sends forth His Spirit, and they are created. The same Spirit moves the flowers to spring and me to contemplate them. Both in them and in me is the one Lord who rejoices in His works. Breathe that in for a second. And come on back. I love how he uses the word as the intention of spirit to be expressed. To express itself in this beautiful dance of appreciator and appreciated. It's this beautiful thing. And that can't be experienced from the intellect alone, right? From the analytical mind. There must be a deeper level that we need to go to in order to really, really experience that and embody that. And, the same understanding of oneness, of the word emerging from the darkness and from this expression coming from that one source is expressed in mystical revelations and writings in spiritual traditions from all over. In the Rig Veda, which is one of the chapters of the ancient Vedic texts, it says, "The one who was breathless breathed through his own nature, apart from which nothing exists. The breath gave life to the seed of the universe, which is spirit." And from the Tao Te Ching, it says, "The origin of heaven and earth is beyond the realm of thought. The Tao that can be expressed in words is not the everlasting Tao. This origin of all things is revealed within ourselves. That is the mystery of mysteries." So, we can talk about these esoteric ideas, these deeper ideas, and hopefully they stimulate a deeper understanding. But nothing will really shift until you embody it with practice. And that's what it is. Otherwise, it's just an intellectual exercise, right? So the advanced course is the practice. This is where we practice. We begin to access it through practices like meditation, other spiritual practices, chanting, connecting, communing with nature. But practicing opening to this aspect, this higher, deeper aspect of our being, and embodying it and knowing that that's who we truly are. So again, I invite you together. We're going to do a practice now, a meditation, guided meditation. So again, get comfortable. You still are, right? You didn't come out of that that comfortable. You're all just like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm receptive. I see that in you. You're in that. You're in that zone. All right. Let's stay there. And for this one, close your eyes and take a deep breath. And let that breath remind you that it's not just your breath from your body, that it is this one infinite breath of divine life that breathes its life through and as you. Breathe its life through and as all of the flowers, all of the trees, all of the birds and the butterflies and everything on this planet. That it is that one divine word, that spark, that intention of the universe to express in its magnificence. That is who you are. Open to that awareness. Open your heart to know that truth. Open to the awareness that behind this world of form, there is pure being, pure consciousness, pure consciousness that is infinite peace, infinite love, wholeness, harmony, life energy. That is what is behind everything. And as we open, we sense it, we feel it, we know it. Become aware that every cell of your body is an expression of this pure consciousness. As it says in the Bhagavad Gita, see in this body of mine the existence of the whole universe. In this body of mine is the existence of the whole universe. Feel this idea, this divine idea that you are, was birthed many, many eons ago. As they say, see if you can see the face that you had before your parents were born. This idea of you is eternal. And it is expressing in this individual life right now in a beautiful and magnificent way. A light, an expression of that one divine light. We're connecting with that transcendent realm and opening the door for a greater understanding and experience of who you truly are. Breathe. And if you would like, we can chant together the universal chant of Om. So together, Om. Once more. Sense as that vibration shifts your very being. Healing is happening here in this moment. On every level. And before we bring our awareness in, I invite you to have the intention of bringing that deep awareness that you've just experienced back with you. It's a healing energy. And to share it with each person that you come into contact with today, to share it with the world. To shine your light. All right, take a deep breath. Let's begin to bring our awareness back into our physical body, back into the room, back into the here and now. Breathe. Come on back, fully present. Here, present, available, and light. Do you feel something shift for you in that? Something shifted. right? That's a practice that you can continue to do. I've actually recorded a meditation that it was part of the midweek Wednesday meditations and on this. So you can listen to it over and over again, or whatever meditation you listen to that gets you to that place. I invite you to think about incorporating that daily. Take 10 minutes every day. Invest in the awakening in your consciousness with 10 minutes a day to do that. Yes? Yeah? Okay, wonderful. Namaste. Hi. If this video has inspired you, opened your heart, expanded your consciousness, filled you with hope, empowered you in some way, we encourage you to support what we offer here at Unity Center of Peace by making your donation now. And thank you.